Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thanks for joining our very first episode of Your Senior Spotlight. The idea behind this channel is to provide seniors with the tools they need as they navigate through the aging process. Unfortunately, there is no guidebook when we turn 65 when we sign up for Medicare and AARP, or at least I haven't been told of one. So each episode will give you some insight on the tools that might aid you or a loved one navigate through this unfamiliar territory. We want the channel to be used by seniors, of course, but also the children of aging parents so they can make the best decisions together as a family as to which direction makes best sense for each individual. We'll make general statements about certain conditions, but it's always encouraged to run these by your physician as well, since they tend to know each patient a bit better through their one-on-one interaction. We just want you to be aware of the services and products available so that you're able to have an educated conversation with your physician for the best outcome. So, who am I? I'm Chris Poland. I've been working with seniors for over 25 years. I've always found it rewarding to help patients find the right path when represented with a roadblock or unforeseen circumstance. While I typically work with providing the proper piece of medical equipment or supplies, I've found a lot of times folks are thrown into a situation and grasping at items to help remedy the new challenge brought them to their life or the life of their loved one. Sometimes it falls outside my scope of business, which is fine. I'm here to help. Over the years, I have found a great team of other professionals that can assist seniors overcome these new challenges. I may have been in the industry for a long time, but I am not an expert in all the fields by any stretch of the imagination. That's why on this channel, I plan to bring in guests that are top-notch in each industry they represent. As they say, it takes a village. So on a daily basis, we get a ton of questions about compression socks. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't know why they need compression socks other than the doctor just recommended them. So we will dive into the world of compression with our expert from Sigvaris, Krista Simmerman. Hi, Krista. How are you doing today?
Hey, Chris, I'm doing great. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you. So if you don't mind, can you tell us a little bit about Sigvaris and yourself?
Sure. Okay, so I'm Krista Simmerman. I appreciate you saying I'm an expert in my field. I have been around for 11 plus years working in the compression realm of durable medical equipment. I work for the Sigvaris group. It's a manufacturing group that's been around since 1950s. We actually have a plant down in Peachtree City, Georgia. We also have another plant in Holland, Michigan. And we actually make compression garments and also lymphedema type products for folks in Canada, the US, and also Mexico. So I'm very proud of the fact that we are a US manufacturer of outstanding compression garments.
Awesome. And well, you've had experience in the medical field prior to Sigvaris too, correct?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I spent 11 years in the pharmaceutical industry. And before that, I was a practice manager. I've done family practice and gastroenterology, which is a really interesting specialty.
Yeah, see, expert.
That's funny.
So I guess we'll first start off and kind of explain what compression socks actually do.
Well, to be a true graduated compression stocking, they're designed to apply pressure to the leg, mostly around the ankle, some at the calf, and a little still at the thigh. So if you're wearing thigh highs or pantyhose, you would continue to get gradient compression up the entire limb to your torso. So the strengths can start as low as 8 to 15, and that's millimeters of mercury of pressure. More commonly, we see doctors recommending a 15 to 20 or maybe a 20 to 30 if the leg pain is a little bit more severe. And then we even make 30 to 40 and higher if someone has advanced medical needs, such as like severe insufficiency or a patient with lymphedema.
Awesome. So when you said millimeters of mercury, I get a lot of blank stares when I see some folks. So explain to us how that kind of contributes to like a blood pressure monitor.
Right. So it's actually the same exact measurement as if you were taking someone's blood pressure. It's literally the amount of pressure that is being utilized in the vein as the patient is trying to get the venous return back up into the torso.
Awesome. So explain how they help. how the compression socks help the patient? I
Well,
mean, how's the pressure help aiding that process?
right. Well, I'm a very visual person, so I like to explain it this way. So if you want to get the most out of a tube of toothpaste, you squeeze hardest at the bottom of the tube, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you squeeze in the middle of the tube, you're going to get toothpaste that goes up, but you're also going to get toothpaste that goes down.
To the
So
bottom of the tube. Yep.
exactly. So if you squeeze hardest at the bottom and work your way up, you're going to get all of that toothpaste or most of that toothpaste out of that tube, right?
Correct.
And then you notice as you're moving up that tube of toothpaste, it doesn't require as much pressure to get toothpaste to come out of the tube. So basically, that's what compression is doing. It is basically squeezing mostly at the ankle, some at the calf, and then a little bit more if someone's wearing thigh highs or pantyhose. So we're basically just helping to restore normal venous return.
Okay. Awesome.
Does that make
So
sense?
it does. That makes sense to me. But hopefully, if others have questions, they can reach out to either Sigvaris or the compounding center. So
Absolutely.
yeah. But what are some of the health conditions that compressions are good for?
Well, as a sales rep, I want to say everything, but that's not the truth.
They actually do cover quite a bit, though. It's amazing how wide the range it is. So
Right. So it is, a simple thing is a recommendation for flights longer than 4 hours to wear at least like a 15 to 20 millimeters of mercury garment. There's also occupational reasons to wear compression. If someone is having prolonged standing or sitting during the day with their job, that can cause swelling in the legs and ankles. If someone just has generalized swelling in their legs and ankles during pregnancy, compression stockings offer relief for that. Then there are some people that just have chronic swelling in their legs. It's referred to as edema. And if there's no medical complication for that, compression can just help minimize the amount of edema that someone is experiencing in their legs. Some post-DVT patients should wear compression for a period of time, of course, with doctor recommendation. And also some diabetics that have swelling could benefit from wearing compression, but of course we would want a physician recommendation for that patient. And then one of the most common reasons that patients wear compression is a term we call chronic venous insufficiency. And it's just when the vessel, maybe the valves in the vessels have become incompetent. And so a patient gets what we call reflux. Everybody knows about reflux when they're having indigestion, but you can also have reflux in your legs. And I'll throw this in there, but this is absolutely anecdotal information. I have had many people tell me that when they're trying to start running, or maybe they're trying to run long distances, they get shin splints, or they just like their legs are so tired the next day and they're supposed to run 10 miles or something like that. I have had many, many people tell me that it absolutely solves the shin splint problem. And also it helps the legs be less fatigued so that they're ready to go out the next day and do that next training day. But once again, I will say my company doesn't claim that we help shin splints. I've just been told by a lot of people my 11 plus years that it's an absolute great solution for that as well.
yeah, it's funny because you pretty much hit all the conditions that I had listed too, because I was like, we got to make sure we hit these points. And I think you pretty much hit them all.
Right.
The one thing that I wear compression socks every day due to the fact that I'm on my feet every day, on my feet all day, every day. So it definitely helps. If I don't wear compression socks when I'm working and I'm on my feet all day long, I can definitely tell the difference at the end of the day when I get home and trying to prop my feet up when I'm watching TV and stuff. It's a little bit more achy. So they're
Right.
definitely wonderful tools to have. So
Yep.
the biggest, go
I was
ahead.
going to say those tired, achy legs, we also help them. That's like one of our mildest symptoms that we give relief from, but I'm happy to hear that the socks are helping you.
No, yeah, awesome. And unfortunately, due to the nature of the compression, they are pretty tough to get on, especially when you're not used to it if you have arthritic hands. So tell us about what can be done to help get those socks on and off.
Right. Well, luckily, this is not a new incidence that we're hearing about. Like I said, we've been manufacturing for a long time, but I mean, I'm not going to tell you they can't be challenging to get on, but luckily, we have a large array of donning devices out there that can help you. My company, Sigvaris, personally has 4 donning devices that we can offer, and we have competitors out there that have numerous donning devices themselves. Sometimes something as simple as a shoehorn can be helpful to help someone get their compression on. But this is why it's so important to go see your local DME provider, because some people try to go online and buy compression and they can't get them on. They put them in the drawer. They try it again. They put them in the drawer. If you go and seek out someone that's been properly trained for fitting, they can help with any of these secondary issues that might come around. First of all, you've got to be fit properly. That's part of the problem, is people are trying to put on socks that just don't fit. And if there are arthritic hands, maybe you just need a pair of donning gloves that can help you put them on. We also have donning aids to help caretakers don compression for the person they're taking care of. And we also have some donning aids to help people stay independent and to be able to don and doff their stockings on their own. So it's really critical to work with someone face to face to get the best fit and to take care of any kind of donning issues that may arise.
Yeah, and that's definitely true, because we always show patients how you can get them on the best way free-handed. There's a trick to that. We'd be happy to show any of the folks out there. But like you said, there's a ton of different assistive devices that can help aid that process. You can do it individually with someone. So there's many options out there. I just hate to see people give up when they are struggling with their socks. So
Right.
a lot of times we get people that come in and they're like, well, the socks are so hard to get on. I've seen versions in catalogs that have zippers, and so they inquire about the zipper style sock. So what's your take on that?
Well, it's so funny. We have a lymphedema therapist that I work with quite a bit, and I asked her about the zippers, and she said it's a great marketing tool because you're going to need 3 hands to use a zipper. So there may be a manufacturer too out there making the socks with zippers. There's not very many of them. But the true nature of the graduated compression is it's a circular knit. So if you put a zipper down the side of that leg, our engineers feel like you're breaking the mechanism of action of the products. So therefore, it's not going to be as effective. If you have fragile skin, that zipper can really compromise skin integrity where it is on the leg. And so probably, in my opinion, and my company's opinion, that there are better options out there, like including wraps. Wraps are a great tool to use if you absolutely cannot get on a circular knit product. They're all made with Velcro straps. And once again, if you go to your local DME provider, you're going to be able to get assistance if this is the right method for you.
Awesome. Yeah, it's definitely the wraps make it a lot easier. And from what I hear with the zippers too, like you say, it degrades the compression level. So you're really
Absolutely.
not getting the compression that's guaranteed to help aid in the condition that you might have. So,
Right.
and which kind of brings us to the next issue is just patient compliance. A lot of times people get discouraged with the compression and they just don't want to wear them. Sometimes it just doesn't go with their outfit, or just doesn't look as nice. So what has Sigvaris done to help improve patient compliance?
Well, the first thing I'm going to say, I've said this to you before. This is not your grandma's compression or your great grandma's compression socks for the younger folks out there. We actually do make a product that looks very similar to Mrs. Doubtfire's. Some people are going to have to Google Mrs. Doubtfire because they're not going to know what that is. But anyway, so our company specifically, because really compression is at the heart of everything that we do. We've come up with a variety of colors. We've got some fun patterns. And then it's really critical, the fabrics that are chosen to cover the spandex with. So I'll back it up really quickly. Graduated compression is made with a circular knit, and the actual the way we get the pressure on the leg is using spandex. Well, there's some manufacturers out there that they just manufacture a bare spandex product. Fine. Then there are some companies out there that have chosen to cover that spandex with one layer of some kind of thread, fabric, textile, we call it. And then my company actually goes back again and recovers that spandex to make it a more comfortable product. It's a really nice feel. And it hopefully is going to make those a little bit better to get on and take off. But I mean, you can go out there and look at retailers everywhere. There are all kinds of fun colors and patterns. You don't have to feel like you're getting into this sad, beige, awful product. There's microfiber, there's cotton, there's thermoregulating wool out there. So there's a lot more variety to fit anybody's lifestyle or fashion statements. So don't feel bad about being told that you have to wear compression. It's just not grandma's compression anymore. But if you're having negative health benefits, you've just got to wear the socks. And I'm telling you, they will change your life.
It definitely will. And one thing I really like about what you've always said in the past was you make compression fun. So, you got your different colors and your patterns, and I don't know how many different colors of beige you all have. It's a ton. So
Well,
it's nice because then people can kind of pick their own skin tones and stuff like that, or like you were saying before, complement the outfit a bit better. But if patients aren't wearing them, it's not going to do them any good. So it's nice to see a place like Sigvaris that's kind of thinking outside the box and making sure that people are going to wear them. So.
oh, right. And you can even get an open toe sheer product to wear in the summertime. So it really can be a year-round wear. That was hard to get out. So we're doing everything we can to make the compression experience a good one.
Yeah. So the other thing that we kind of get is a little pushback on is they kind of come in the store and then they go, oh my gosh, I didn't realize they were so expensive. So kind of give us some history on that, if you don't mind.
Right. Well, true graduated compression stockings are classified as a medical device. So manufacturers should take this very seriously and have a good engineering process for how they're going to make the products. Now, our process is somewhat automated, but we still have to have people looking at the socks, making sure they're coming off the machines correctly made. And then you have to, make sure that your machines are calibrated every day. So yes, it's somewhat automated, but we still have humans. We have a bunch of people that sew the thigh high bands onto the thigh highs. When they're making the pantyhose, someone is actually sewing the gussets in. So, a lot of people think automation makes things less expensive, but this type of product, you still have to have human contact. And at least in our manufacturing plant, and I'm sure it's similar in others, by the time that sock gets into a box, it's probably gone through anywhere from 5 to 8 hands before it got into that box. So, and if you want to get a truly good product, raw materials are critically important. And we stand behind the quality and integrity of our products so much that we put a 6-month guarantee that compression is going to last in those socks if they're properly taken care of and they wear them every day. So when you start breaking down the price by days, it's really super expensive. I mean, super cheap to get a pair of good gradient compression stockings.
Yeah, and I will say that the quality from Sigvaris is top notch. So I always tell people to kind of get what you pay for. I've seen cheaper alternatives out there, but the quality is not near as nice as some of the premium compression socks like Sigvaris. Right. So it's great to have that little clout behind that. So.
Yeah, it's nearly impossible to get quality and low price together. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. Cars come in different varieties and different price points. Stockings are going to come in different variety and price points. And you think about, I don't want to pick on any specific car brand, but there's going to be your low end and then there's going to be your high end. So you just kind of have to make those decisions.
Yeah. So a lot of folks come in and they go, well, I can maybe I'll just go on the internet and purchase these. What's your take on internet purchasing?
Well, as we talked about a little bit earlier on, getting properly fit and getting instructions on donning and doffing is needed to be successful with compression. Unfortunately, if you go to a website, there's no one to help you measure properly. If you're having issues, there's no one you can go to and say, help, I don't know what, I'm having a hard time putting them on. And I am telling you, I have heard all over Virginia and DC, which I cover, as part of my job, the amount of money that people spend on socks that are sitting in a drawer is just, it's crazy. I had a lady in Standardsville that I was just talking to last week. She says she has hundreds of dollars of socks in a drawer that she's ordered online that just don't fit. In fact, she was asking me where she could donate them. I was like,
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't,
Yeah.
I don't know, but we finally got her in the right sizing, the right fabric, and the right fashion statement because she's a fashionable lady. And now she is super happy because she actually has socks that she can put on every single day. So I get it. People want to run to the internet, but with something like this, it is so important to have a personal touch. It really, truly is. I cannot stress that enough.
Yeah. And we have our own website too, but we always encourage people to come in because we want to educate the people when they're getting their socks. So that's the whole thing, is just getting education behind it. So
Absolutely. I tell people you can buy your groceries online, but you cannot buy your socks.
yeah, that's very true. Yes. So, and talking about being measured, a lot of folks sometimes they measure for a medium, and then they said, you know what, they're just so hard to get on. I want to go for the next size up. So, what's your stance on going for the next size up?
Well, I mean, not to be flippant, but you don't wear a pair of pants that are too large, right? So why would you want to wear socks that are too large? If you're not getting into the proper size of compression, you're not getting the therapeutic benefit that your physician wants you to have, that your family wants you to have, that you want to have. Because once again, going back to that gradient pressure, we've got to squeeze most at the ankle. And if that ankle is too large, the whole process is just not going to work as well. So it's really important to get into the right size. I think a lot of people think they need to go up because why? They've had a hard time wearing a garment before. Maybe they were trying to put a bare spandex garment on, which is trying to pull a rubber band up your leg. So it all goes back to that getting with the right person, understanding what to do. And if you need it, there are donning aids out there to help you. But you really need to be in the proper size or else you're really shortchanging your therapeutic benefit. And once again, good compression socks are going to cost a little bit of money. So don't you want to maximize your dollar?
That's what I was exactly what I was getting ready to say was just save your money then. Don't even spend the amount of money that you're going to spend on the socks. Get something that's going to work. Otherwise, you're basically just throwing your money away. So,
right. Once again, another ill-fitting pair of socks in the drawer.
Yep, there you go. Yep.
Yes. So there you have it.
So the good thing about Sigvaris is their research that they've done with the compression socks. So luckily, most people fit into the ready-to-wear style. So they were usually able to leave with a pair of socks the same day. But what about the folks that aren't able to fit in the traditional ready-to-wear sock?
Right. Well, as you know, and gratefully, Sigvaris has really, we continue to try to solve more and more problems. We have increased some of the sizing options that we have, but sometimes people just don't sit into what's currently available in ready to wear. And it's not a totally unique situation. So if anybody out there has had issues with this before, you're definitely not alone. But luckily, there are solutions. So one of the options is there are that you can be fit for custom stockings. Also the wraps. The wraps are just such a great tool because it's an adjustable product. That you can even add a strap extender. So if maybe one part of the leg is a little bit more swollen than the other, we can even give an extra 10 centimeters in a certain area of the leg with the wrap so that it is still a comfortable fit and is still doing its job. And of course, we're always going to continue to try to expand our sizing options. We actually have one product that we've added in the last couple of years that can really, help a person who may be outside of the sizing range. And so hopefully the innovation will continue, but in the meantime, those wraps are a great substitution if someone can't get a ready to wear circular knit right off the shelf.
Yeah, that's awesome. So typically when patients start wearing the compression socks, how long before they can start seeing results?
Well, I'm going to tell you once again, I've been around the block a couple of times. I've been all over the state of Virginia and Maryland, and in many cases, the symptom relief is almost instant. If someone has a lot of pressure in their legs, it's making their legs feel really tired and achy. Usually once they put the socks off, they usually begin to get immediate relief. Some people, if they've got a lot of swelling, it may take a day or two to really notice the positive impact that lower extremity is getting by wearing the compression every day. But I feel like a lot of times people will know, at least in a day, how much better their legs feel. If someone is a little bit like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. One of the things that I recommend people do is you wear those socks for 3 days. And then don't you dare put them on the 4th day. Don't you dare I don't care how bad your legs start hurting. You got to go all day. And then you put those socks on again the 5th day, you'll be a believer.
It truly is amazing. Once we get the socks on a patient, they're just amazed about how better their legs feel. So
Yeah.
it truly is amazing how much of a difference it is. I mean, that's pretty immediate in my opinion of how well that can make someone kind of do an about face with compression therapy.
Right.
Sometimes we do get the folks that just can't tolerate anything tight. And for those patients, I usually tell them, try it, increase your tolerance per day. And then you can kind of gauge upon that of, get it up to a full day before. Don't give up on it, because it's definitely going to help you in the long run. So.
Exactly. And the beautiful thing is, at the end of the day, when people are at home and they're getting in their recliner and getting ready to chill out for the evening, they can take their socks off.
Yeah,
Job
exactly.
done.
Yep. I always tell people you can elevate them then at that point and just kick back and relax.
Right. But you have to say, Chris, you and I've both experienced it. When you see someone, they get those socks on and they're just like, oh my gosh. I had a 98-year-old World War II veteran that I helped a week and a half ago, and he was having, some swelling in the left leg, not so much the right. We got that stocking on in store on that left leg. And as he was leaving, I heard him whisper to his son, he goes, my left leg feels like my right leg now. So, and that was 30 minutes later. So, yeah. I mean, the evidence is out there. Go talk to somebody who's been wearing socks for a while. They'll make a believer out of you.
That's for sure. Yeah. So we kind of hinted on this before during one of the other topics, but obviously the socks won't last forever, even though they will tend to feel good forever, but they just won't last forever. But how long should people replace their socks?
Right. Well, we recommend every 6 months to get reevaluated. Like some patients that have a lot of edema in their legs may go down a size from wearing the socks, every day, as doctor recommended. And Sigvaris actually guarantees that the compression will last in our garments for 6 months, but at 6 months, that guarantee is gone. And I always say, if they start getting real easy to put on, it is time to replace them. And I will say a lot of times those socks will last longer than 6 months, but it's always a good idea to get back in front of someone, get those legs remeasured, and make sure you're still in the appropriate size. Or there may be some new color or fabric that's come along that you might be excited about. So it's always a good idea every 6 months to kind of reevaluate the situation and see if it's time to get some new supplies.
Yeah, it is funny because we saw a lot more open toes in the summer and a lot more wool ones in the winter. So It's definitely a good change up every 6 months anyway, just to get the new style out there and try something new.
And yeah, absolutely. Seasonal changes. Well, in Virginia, we never know whether we're in winter, summer, spring, or fall any given day. But you never know when something new is going to come out. And I mean, any textile product, with daily usage, it is going to fatigue and wear out at some point. So keep taking care of those legs, people.
There you go. Well, that pretty much takes up all of our time today. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Feel free to reach out to us at the Compounding Center. Our email is homehealth@compoundingcenter.com, or you can reach out to Sigvaris too if you're outside of our area. And who should they contact at Sigvaris? Go to the website.
They could go to the website. I would say the best thing is if you want to have some questions about compression in general, call our customer care team. They're wonderful people at 800-322-7744, and we're happy to answer any questions for you.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time today, and look forward to working with you in the future.
Great. It was great talking to you this morning. Thanks.
All right.